Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Colt Data Centres, supporting India's digital transformation journey in association with CNBC-TV-18.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CNBC-TV-18 for a truly exceptional episode brought to you by Colt Data Centre Services. In the dynamic landscape of India's digital evolution, the rise of data centres has been nothing short of remarkable. According to Anurag Binswanger research, India now boasts over 138 data centres, securing its position as the 13th largest data centre market globally, and the growth trajectory is poised to soar even higher by 2025. These data centres collectively occupy a staggering 8 million square feet of storage space, strategically located in major metropolitan hubs like Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, and Bangalore. This surge in data center infrastructure is propelling India's data industry towards ambitious milestones in the years ahead. Furthermore, the projected increase in active internet users in India is set to reach 900 million from the current 759 million by 2025, as per the report by the Internet Mobile Association of India in Kantar, and it indicates a revolutionary shift in India's digital and data infrastructure market. Amidst these transformative trends, one prominent player, Colt DCS, stands ready to spearhead India's data infrastructure revolution. And what sets Colt DCS apart? Their commitment to innovation and their holistic approach towards addressing environmental, social, and governance responsibilities. Today, we embark on a deep exploration of this transformative journey where data intersects with destiny, and we are honoured to be joined by Pratap Mane, President and Country Head, India Colt Data Centre Services, and Kwe Nguyen, VP Sales Marketing and Customer Experience. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Kwe, this is not your first time in India. You've been here for many years, almost over a decade. What are some of the changes that you have seen with the Indian data center industry?
Yes, well, first of all, thank you for having us. We're really excited to talk to you today to explain what Colt Data Center Services is bringing to the market and how we plan on contributing to the digital economy of India. As you mentioned, I've been to India before. I think the first time was to Bangalore more than 12 years ago. Back then, we were very focused on tapping to the capabilities of India as an outsourcing resource to help us with our back office. But India is so much more today. India has really transformed in terms of the digital economy, driving innovation, obviously great aspirations to become the next space explorer, driving a lot of 5G initiatives, and also the country's commitment to renewable energy and nuclear energy. So all those things have really transformed what India is capable of doing. And within that context, we made the decision several years ago that this would be a good place for us to expand our business. And we'll share with you further during this session our plans in that regard.
How wonderful is that? With the present data center industry scenario, what are the most noteworthy trends that you have seen when we talk about practices, infrastructure, or market dynamics?
I think the first place to start is to understand that society is changing very quickly. How we adopt data, how we consume data, how we share information with each other. And that's really what's driving the business and the growth in the industry. So there's a never-ending desire for more and more and more data. And as businesses, such as the hyperscale business and the data center business, we are basically trying to establish the digital infrastructure to support society working together, living together, and growing together. And so that's really has been the catalyst for growth in our business. What it really comes down to is consumption of power. When you think about the compute resources necessary to store and process this information, it takes a large amount of power. And historically, that would be done on what we call on-premise within enterprise facilities, but relatively inefficient. So what we bring as a co-location provider is the innovation on how to manage that workload in the most efficient manner so that we can ensure that we have a sustainable impact on the environment while still delivering the data processing that society requires. So if you ask me what has really changed in this industry, it's really how to deal with the massive growth in data consumption in a responsible manner.
Pratap, let me get you in here. You're at the helm of affairs in India. What are some of the factors that are propelling the growth of Colt in India and in the Indian market?
So I think if you see the entire DC data center industry in last year, in last 20 years, things have changed. So if I give you a context, like we used to build data centers of 2 to 5 megawatts in year 2000, and now 23 years down the line, we are talking of gigawatts and megawatts, so hundreds of megawatts. So I think what has changed is the government policies which are driving the digital India, the 5G growth or expansion in tier 2, tier 3 cities, the internet users, the young population of India is driving the internet usage, the OPT platforms, the e-commerce, the payment gateways. So there are many factors which are driving this huge demand for data centers, particularly for data storage. I think the data privacy bill, which is yet on the cards, that will also further drive significant growth in the data center industry.
What about the financial investment associated with the Navi Mumbai facility, and why Navi Mumbai?
So I think traditionally, if you see Navi Mumbai, it was a industrial belt which had a lot of pharma industries and huge industries. So the grid in Navi Mumbai is, the power availability is huge, and that was one of the driving factors. And the other factor is availability of land. So there are huge land parcels which were available. So data centers need power, fiber, and land which have clear titles. So all these land parcels were either MIDC or allotted, or pharma industries were there. So I think it was a natural choice for people to set up data centers in that belt.
Kwei, what is Colt DCS's existing data center capacity in India, and what are the other regions that you are looking at to expand?
So as a business, we've been operating for more than 25 years. We started in Europe, then we expanded to Japan, and India is our next expansion country. So the data center in Navi Mumbai is our first one that we just launched, but it will not be our last one. In most countries that we operate, we end up with typically more than 5 data centers. So we are looking to expand our footprint in India beyond Mumbai. The next city of growth for us will be in Chennai, and then from there we will evaluate other cities. But we anticipate on bringing substantial scale to India to serve our customers.
Let's talk about the 5G technology and how it has influenced data consumption, not just in India, but everywhere else. How has it been a game changer?
Well, I think the important thing about 5G is that it's not a solution by itself. It's an enabler to host different use cases that in the past would have been difficult to satisfy using older technology, whether it's 3G or 4G. So to me, 5G opens the door for innovation. What those use cases will be, I think it's still evolving. Even as of today, the adoption of artificial intelligence and generative AI will create use cases that we don't even know about today. So the important aspect of 5G to me is that it provides the infrastructure for innovation. And I think that's where India is really leading the rest of the world. Pratap can talk about it more, but it's incredible how India has leapfrogged the rest of the world, that have traditionally gone from dial-up modems to broadband, then to wireless, and India is just fast-tracking to 5G, and I think that opens up a lot of opportunities.
Now, when we talk about the vertical markets that are playing a significant role in driving the demand for data centers, which are the broader data center verticals that you look at to concentrate on?
For sure, the cloud service provider market is the main driver. So these are companies like the Microsofts and Amazons and Googles of the world. They provide the engine for enterprises to store, process, and deliver information at a basic level. But beyond the hyperscale market, particularly for India, there's tremendous growth right now because companies are innovating and updating their IT architecture. So we see tremendous growth in the banking financial services sector. We see tremendous growth potential in e-commerce and media and content. And obviously the public sector itself is driving a lot of consumption as well. But we predominantly focus on the verticals of cloud service providers, BFSI, e-commerce, and media and content.
Pratap, would you like to elaborate on that, specifically talking about the hyperscale data center market? What are some of the strategies of your company for investment and expansion?
So typically hyperscalers are adopting two models. One is a self-build model, and where they use developers like us. So I think from a strategy perspective, we cater to all these hyperscalers globally. So we are looking at hyperscaler to replicate the same global standards in India. Likewise, we are also focusing on enterprise business because that's also a large part of business in India. As we mentioned, the BSFI segment is growing huge. So we are focusing on a hybrid model where we cater to both the segments, hyperscalers as well as enterprise in India.
Let's talk about the Navi Mumbai facility and find more about the capacity, location, and also, I know it's beautifully green, that side of Navi Mumbai where you are based at Airoli. But what are some of the advantages and also the environmental sustainability features of that particular location?
Sure. So we have a 15-acre campus, and we have
That's
built.
Huge.
Yeah. So we have, in phase 1, we have built 26 megawatt capacity. And it's got scalability, as Kui mentioned, so we can scale up to almost 120 megawatt. We are actually looking at revising the master plan to see how we can further increase the capacity. So on a sustainability basis, we have recently awarded IGBC Platinum rated certification. So that's a huge achievement. We have 100% renewable energy we use. And in terms of sustainability design, we incorporate during the design stage itself, and we try to lower the power consumption. So we measure it in PUE. So we have like 1.45, which is one of the best in the industry, I would say, in terms of design. And I think as an overall strategy of the firm, we promote ESG in a very big way. So we have our targets to achieve carbon neutrality. And I think that's, in terms of our site, I would say we are uniquely positioned because we have power. We have about 142 MVA power already sanctioned from dual sources. And in terms of design, we have replicated the global engineering designs here. So it's one of the state-of-the-art facility which offers security and operational excellence. So these are some of the USPs, I would say.
Wonderful. What is likely to be Colt DCS's comprehensive business portfolio moving on, keeping in mind the sectoral innovations in the Indian market?
So we have very ambitious plans to grow in India. As Kui mentioned earlier, Mumbai is huge capacity, I would say like 120 to 150 megawatt. We are looking at expansion in Chennai soon. Chennai will be another 100 megawatt on an average, and then subsequently will grow in other cities like Delhi NCR, Pune, Hyderabad, but that's in near future. At the moment, we are focusing on Mumbai and Chennai.
Well, it's a big project in itself.
Absolutely.
Kui, how do you look at Colt DCS's environmental sustainability aspect, not just here, but overall? Would you take us through some of your priorities there?
Yeah, it's very important to us for a number of different reasons. Obviously, it's the right thing to do for society, but also our employees and our investors expect us to have a robust ESG strategy. So we do have a governance body that looks at the components of ESG. We have a goal to reach net zero achievement by 2045, actually. And we have very specific plans in place on how to address that in terms of scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions rather. We are very transparent about it, so we report these initiatives to our customers and to our investors. We are also benchmarked externally by external bodies, and we've achieved gold standard certifications in that regard. So we are very focused on it, but we're very early in the journey as well as is the entire world, and I think there's always more that we can do.
Pratap, you spoke about achieving the platinum rating from the Indian Green Building Council, the IGBC. What went into that? And that's a question I would also want you to answer from the challenges that one must have faced, and how was the journey towards this aim?
So what we have got is a pre-certification, and that is given for the engineering design, the construction materials that you use. So there were various criterias, and there is a point system. So the point system is like you can't achieve 100 points. So our target was to at least achieve more than 85 points, and which we have successfully achieved. So there are various criteria like indoor air quality, the kind of PUE you are maintaining, the construction materials that you use in the during the construction phase, whether they are sustainable and renewable, then whether we have a strategy on land refilling. So there are many factors on which we are measured, and it's a very stringent process, but we are happy to share that we achieved platinum rating.
Congratulations again on that. It is a huge deal. Well, with intense competition in India's data center market, where do you place Colt DCS, and what is it that sets you apart from other players?
I can talk a little bit about that in the global context, and Pratap can probably add to the local context. Colt Data Center Services itself is not a large company. We are very focused on our strategy. As I mentioned, we've been operating for more than 25 years, and our success has really been driven by really taking care of each customer that we have. And so our value proposition is really about the customer and giving them the white glove service that they expect. I talk a lot about the secret sauce to our success, that being our scalability, our sustainability, our focus on health and safety, our focus on social issues. But basically customers trust us at the end of the day, and it comes down to as simple as that. So we want to bring that level of trust to India and replicate the same success in India. And we're very confident we can compete from that perspective.
Oh, fantastic. Pratap, you want to add in?
Yeah, just to add, we focus a lot on quality, so we want to deliver a best product which is in line with the global standards. Delivering on time for the client is very important, and delivering within the cost is also very important. And of course, a very high focus on health and safety standards in India.
I think also the market is so dynamic with the regulations coming in, with the proposed bill, as you mentioned. How do you see specifically in India that narrative building, and are you prepared for that?
So we are, this bill has been in discussion since like last 2 years. Right. So we are waiting anxiously. I think it will be a huge game changer. Yes. The demand will suddenly shoot up. And I think in terms of our capacities, we are fully geared up to, meet them. So we are excited. We are waiting for such a opportunity.
Okay, I'll let you have the last word. We live in a VUCA world, but I love this question. How do you see yourself in the next 10 years? What is the canvas looking like? And what are Colt DCS's international plan and also Indian plans, if we were to talk about a little over 5 years?
I mean, personally, every year is a new year with new challenges for me personally. Currently I'm Vice President for Sales and Marketing, Customer Experience, but my background is actually as a Chief Financial Officer. My motivation is really getting close as possible to the customers and meeting their requirements and really helping them succeed. That is what drives me every day to get up and tackle the issues that we have. So for the next 5-10 years, I really don't know what to expect. I think the world is changing so quickly, innovation is changing so quickly. I think artificial intelligence will revolutionize the world the same way that the internet revolutionized the world. So from that perspective, I don't think anybody really knows what the next 10 years will bring, but we know what we need to do. And we hear very clearly from our customers what they expect. And so we'll be working very hard to bring that capability to India. And really, we see ourselves as a partner to our customers, and hopefully we can contribute to society here in India and abroad. You mentioned about what we are doing globally. We are very focused on the markets that we currently operate in because our customers are growing so quickly in those markets. So we don't feel a need to geographically expand. There's so much to be done in the countries that we already operate in. So that's really our main focus, is to keep our existing customers happy, to give them the scalable growth that they need for their business. And if there is another country that attracts our attention, or we think there's opportunities like India did a number of years ago, we will for sure try to serve that market as well.
And do you also think India's ranking, which is currently not in the top 10, will likely go up in the coming few years?
I really don't see why it cannot be number one. I think the other markets are maturing quite quickly. The growth is still there, but it's slowing down. And from a tier one market perspective, I think India will overtake the rest of the world in terms of digital transformation and the need for data center capacity.
Well, on that wonderful note and progressive note, thank you so much for your time and for all those insights.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, together we have delved into the exponential growth of India's data center market and witnessed Colt DCS's pioneering contributions to this digital transformation journey. To all our viewers, our panel of experts have shared their insights on the industry's future, shedding light on Colt DCS's visionary role. I extend my heartfelt thanks to each one of you for joining us in this enlightening conversation. Until next time, take care and stay safe.
Colt Data Centres, supporting India's digital transformation journey in association with CNBC-TV-18.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.